What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kevin Jackwitz. This is the Caged Review, and finally getting into something fun here. So obviously, Mortal Kombat 11 came out, and I was a huge fan of it. I was a part of both of not only the beta, but the online stress test. So I was really super excited, super stoked about that. Got really early access to it. Unfortunately, if you've been paying attention to my channel, you know that I've had some issues. I haven't been able to play the game lately. So I haven't even gotten my hands on Nightwolf yet, which kind of makes me sad. Nightwolf, one of my favorite characters in the whole series, honestly. I love Nightwolf. It's funny because when I really started playing Mortal Kombat, seriously, it was during the 3D era days, and it was Deception, and Nightwolf was one of the main characters there. So, really terrible game, but they really updated him and made him great. Mortal Kombat 9, when they brought him back, he was amazing. He really was. I absolutely loved him. So I'm really excited. I've already done the reveal trailer reaction, so now I want to take an in-depth look at the gameplay overall and see what Nightwolf has got for us. I absolutely loved his first fatality, man. That was brutal looking. So let's get in here and see what we got.
Let's show some Nightwolf, right?
All right, so let's just start off with the basics.
I'm not sure what's going on with
as
Steve there,
in this
but
game, he actually uses weapons a lot. He uses his hatchet, and he has a new weapon called a gunstock club, which he uses in a bunch of his attacks, and it's actually a real Native American weapon that they use. They would pick up guns and use them as clubs, and then they actually started making their own versions of them.
Right.
You can Google it. It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, it was something that Edwards was really pushing for to give it new life and new
that's kind of cool that they're adding some realism to the Native American
spiritual
bit.
axe as well as his real one. You can see there he uses both, and then you can see the spirit one actually go away, and he puts the other one back. It's pretty neat.
I would assume the spiritual one's more powerful.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sure. So let's go over just 3 or 4 moves I really wanted to show. The first is his forward 2, where he uses the new club, and that's a really long range overhead that he can
And it's
either
a good
end it.
speed too.
Yeah, I would say it's slightly on the slow side, but for an overhead,
Yeah.
it's not going to be lightning quick.
Right.
And he can actually hit confirm that into a special move, where he can just knock you down.
Classic shoulder charge.
Right on.
Then to complement that is his forward 1, and that is super quick. I
Yeah.
think it's 14 frames, something like that, and that has
A lot of
really good.
Nice.
speed.
Yeah, and it goes forward.
Yeah, he can also hit confirm that. He can stay safe on block by not finishing it. And I think these 2 moves really are his core 2 mid-range moves, and they complement each other. So one forces you to stand block, but is a little bit on the slow side.
Right.
And the other one is super, super quick, and that's excellent for punishing whiffs, after you hit a low poke.
It's just a good, quick advancing
Yeah,
attack. Right?
it's one of those buttons that you really can't go wrong hitting.
Right.
Then he has another really good
Nice.
move, which is his back one. He goes into this toe stomp, and then his shoulder charge. And this, you can see there's a ton of natural delay for the shoulder, and it's awesome for staggering. You do the first 2 hits, and then you can go for throws, or jump overs, or low pokes, or let it go and you do the shoulder.
Gotcha.
Right.
And then lastly,
Right on.
I really like this string because it reminds me of UMK3. He has this kick to the chest,
Right.
ending in this chop, which is total UMK3.
Yeah, the chop is.
And I think this string is awesome for staggers. And this actually has a crushing blow. And the requirement is if the last hit is the only one to connect. So if the opponent blocks it, don't do the 3rd hit.
Well, that's
start doing
interesting.
Throws.
Right.
And then when the opponent actually lets go of block because they think you're going to throw, that's when you get the crushing blow.
Cool.
And
And
does
that
he,
leads
have,
to a
Right on.
pop-up.
does he have his little classic low starter from MK3?
He does,
Yeah.
and like
There
MK9,
it
it's
is.
not a low.
That's awesome.
Part the second
Yeah.
hit is.
The second hit is yes, but the first hit's a mid.
Right. And we'll actually get back to that move.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That looks like a low.
About it.
Well, it changes later.
Oh, get out.
Yeah.
So let's show his throws, which I think are pretty cool. And he's one of the rare characters that has a crushing blow on both throws, which is always
Yeah.
really, really strong.
Love both of his throws. I especially,
That's
I mean, the one with the light coming down is amazing. But the power that the gun club there has,
Yeah.
the moment he waits and really loads it up is really cool.
And that may have a pretty cool brutality.
It may have?
It
may.
may have.
It
There's
may.
just a chance of it.
But after the hood, I'm always going to say may.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So let's go over special moves.
Sure.
His base loadout is pretty much exactly what you'd expect. It's classic UMK3 Nightwolf with a couple of twists. So, first, the shoulder barge. It's back, long range, great.
Love the
whip
shoulder
punisher,
charge.
Great check.
Also,
However, new to this, it's a mid, which is a
Oh.
really big buff for this move. You used to be able to just crouch. So like Katana versus Nightwolf in like MK9, I would just crouch, and if he did shoulder, he was going to lose 50% of his life.
Right.
it was a high.
Yeah,
So in this game, it'd be even worse because you just crouch and then uppercut for crouch block.
exactly.
Right.
So now you have to actually crouch block, which is going to set up all of his normal
But
attacks.
he
Yeah, which
gets a
is
crushing
right where he
blow
wants to be.
off of this as well.
Well, he has a new amplify thing where he chops you, and if only the amplify hits, he gets the crushing blow.
And it keeps you restand.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And you get to keep that axe in your head for a little bit.
Yeah,
Hold that.
which is
You
really,
got,
really gross.
You got to think about it.
So then he has his arrow back, which is a pretty standard, good projectile. It's pretty quick, but
Right.
there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. And I think this again plays into him kind of reacting to what you want to do or forcing you to move. He can amplify it and he really quickly shoots 3. And this is really good for
Right.
catching people that they duck the first arrow and they try to advance in. It's like, no, I don't think so.
It's high, mid, high.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he
that'll
can
be
also
hard to get
actually
around.
cancel it. So he can hold it, look for movement. If they're not going to move, he can cancel it.
My favorite thing to do is to hold it and then.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, that's
Right.
super
So that's like, there's just like a lot of levels of stuff you can
And
do.
if you cancel it, it also takes a bar, right?
Yes.
Yes.
One thing I'd like to say that I love that you did here was you create the lore you gave earlier. You put Kano versus Nightwolf.
I actually always try. A lot of people get mad if I use Scorpion or Sub-Zero.
Yes, they
'cause
do.
Especially Sub-Zero. The Sub-Zero community, I agree with you guys. He always gets beat up. So I try to base it on lore.
There you go.
Or at least use like Johnny Cage or something, because everybody hates Cage.
Whoa.
What?
That's
Not cool.
not even close to correct.
Not cool.
Anyway, and lastly, he has his reflect. And you can hold it. It's a reflect. It'll bounce back.
Of course.
Now, good to know, it reflects one projectile.
Yes. If you throw multiple projectiles, it won't reflect a second. So you
Right.
have to be careful. So the opponent can amplify if they have a double. Like Nightwolf's own arrow, he could amplify to hit Nightwolf.
Right. And he Nightwolf then in return would get hit by one other one,
Yes.
but could reflect that one back if he wanted to.
A fun anecdote that happened between you and me the other day.
Oh, this is true.
You reflected my Katana fan,
Mm-hmm.
and I absorbed with her parry
Right.
my own fan, which then buffed me.
That's funny.
And because we were playing on the balance patch, the buff was better.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Spoiler
Calm
alert.
it down,
Whoa, whoa.
Stephanie. Calm it down.
Not
Okay.
cool.
So, let's go into loadout 1.
Yep.
And the first 2 loadouts we're going to show are his tournament variations. Everyone's always like, oh my god, show the tournament variations. So, we aim to please. My wish is your command. And so this is
I wouldn't say that.
so this is the one I actually personally use.
I prefer the other.
Yes. So the first one I would say is a combo based one. So he gains the hatchet uppercut. It's a good anti-air move. It's a combo ender.
Covers
And
a
if you-
lot of space.
Yes, that's a very good point. You can kind of use it in the mid range if you want,
Right.
because that is
Yeah.
a lot of
pretty.
space. And if you amplify it, that's where it really gets juicy. It's a big combo
Pretty
starter.
big.
So like, that's
Oh,
gonna be
yeah,
a cheap combo
nice.
starter. And one thing I really like, it's super
I like
fun to
that.
use. I was literally doing it right before we went on the
Yeah.
air. He can double it,
Yeah, that amplified
and
uppercut
the
is
pop-up's
nice.
still really good.
Awesome.
Oh,
Oh.
Damn.
yeah.
There we go.
And you can
Nice.
see
Nice.
hella wall carry. Like from mid range, he
nice.
went all the way to the corner. So
Yep.
that's gonna do really good damage. You are using 2 bars, so you're not gonna be able to do it. Literally do it every time you get a pop up, but it's pretty good. Secondly, he has Kiba, which is a spirit wolf. This buffs his damage, and it's a reference to Defenders of the Realm, which it's my favorite thing about Nightwolf is that the wolf is Kiba. That's so great. I wish it could go into his chest and he could hack computers. But anyway, so this has a neat thing where if he amplifies it, I mistime it, and he actually gains armor. So that's actually a safer
Oh,
way to
nice.
set it up. So a lot of times, like with Shao Kahn, it's very hard to get the buffs active, although not anymore.
Whoa! We're gonna be run out of balance ideas by the time this is over.
So anyway, the opponent's going to have to guess whether you're going to amplify it or not. You can actually absorb the projectile, and then you're going to get a nice juicy damage buff.
It's awesome.
And a cool wolf comes out in house.
Yeah.
So I think that's variation 1. It's pretty much you get really good combos, and you get a damage buff to complement your really good combos.
I hope that the community howls anytime the wolf comes out.
It happened at Evo.
Oh, yeah?
When the
Yeah,
they
that
played
was
the trailer
awesome.
beforehand.
Oh, that's
Will
great.
you do the wolf real quick
Yeah.
and do throw? So 20 more damage
Yeah.
on a throw. So
Wow,
I'm
all
pretty
right.
beefy.
Also, if someone doesn't get
Yeah,
top
that's-
8 and then actually act out his howling wind post, I will consider that a personal insult and be very, very disappointed.
It's an insult to the entire Kombat Kast crew.
Yeah. It's an insult to the studio, the cinematics team, the audio team, the spirit,
Yeah, everything.
everything. Yeah. Like, why are you playing?
Yep.
Next,
I agree.
moving on. I don't even want to
So
think
before we
about
move on,
It
let's
works.
also look at his fatal blow, because I think the into attack is super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
this
like
is
a
pretty sick.
menagerie.
That is pretty badass.
All right, so loadout 2, and this is the one you really like,
Yes.
and it's the one like Ultra David, and I think a lot of people are gonna like. If you like grappling,
I do.
it. Who doesn't?
Oh, grappler.
Lots of people.
Okay.
really?
Well,
Let's see what we got here.
that's my favorite.
I do
stuff.
like grappling
Okay,
sometimes.
so
First of all, just
the Revenant skin,
Awesome.
yeah, it's awesome. The war paint's really cool, and his glowing eyes just look creepy. So the first thing he has in this one is he gains 2 additional combo enders, and they are throws. He gets this awesome tackle, and this actually adds a crushing blow, and it's a punish. So if you have this loadout, he gets additional damage when he blocks like a Kano ball or whatever.
we talk about this a lot. There's certain characters that if you don't get that crushing blow during the game, you probably lost the match.
It's
Yeah.
cool,
You're getting
but
this in every game
Yeah,
that you're
I mean
playing.
it's a
I don't
punish.
know.
There's no reason not to.
I don't know
And
how
then
much
he
I would
gets
use
this,
it.
which is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life.
the rollout.
The rollout's so good. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like how the
that-
rollout's
that's better.
done with the knife dissipating.
Yeah. I actually do this early a lot. I'll do this out of range. His the low one, and it works really well.
And this is the crushing blow.
Great
That's
choice of axe, by the way.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
This
His-
could be some of your finest work for
His
costumes.
axes and gunstock clubs are really cool.
Yeah.
So then he gains an amplified reflect where he actually teleports. And he can
that's
actually
cool.
reflect something and then teleport too. So it's like not only are you counter zoning, you're literally like getting in. So that's even better than counter. Like that's
That's pretty
true
cool.
counter zoning.
That does count. That costs a bar.
Yes, you can't just do it willy-nilly, but that complements the grappling, which we're about to show.
And it's so crazy too. Like we said earlier. Oh, there you go. Sorry. Like you can hold down the reflect too and
Yes.
change the timings up and things. It's really
Exactly.
cool.
Yeah, you can hold it for quite a
Yeah,
while.
it does look like he's got
So
several
he gains a true
grapples.
command grab. It has an amplify, which looks really nasty and actually gives him hella hit advantage. You can see Nightwolf is just walking along. He can actually jump over them. He gets a lot of time off that, and he has some pretty good tick throws. So that's not blocking. So, all 3 of his low pokes actually tick, which is pretty rare. And I think a really interesting one is 4-2, 1+2 actually ticks, but it's the first hit of the 2. Like the last
Right.
part is 2 hits. You can actually tick off that.
No confirm. You have to dial it out.
Right, yeah, I
So,
am dialing out.
You have to take a chance.
Okay.
But yeah.
So yeah, you are sacrificing your combos because you don't have the up axe, but you get command grabs. So I think
good
that's-
trade-off.
Yeah,
It's a
I
good
think it's
trade-off.
totally going to depend on your playstyle. I personally, I just stick at mid range, spam forward 1, hit confirm into combos. That's how I want to play them. If you are someone who likes the idea of tick throws, all that kind of good stuff.
I do like a couple of his grabs, though. That
I've
is,
had a- I've
like the
been
one I
playing a
wasn't
lot,
too big on,
with-
but the other 2
with
look really
Smash,
cool.
and I've been having a great time playing Nightwolf.
He's super fun. He's another one where I have to be honest. I'm not like this huge Nightwolf stan. Like he's never, I'm not like in UMK3. He's my main,
Right.
but he is. I play him for work, and I've had a ton of fun. He's very simple to pick up. I think he's very, very straightforward. Like there's there's not a lot of stances or complex stuff here. He's pretty simple, and that's always what I enjoy out of a character.
Sure.
So let's go one more loadout that I made for fun.
Yep.
And this costume, this is mine. I love it.
We called it Night Cub, which you'll see why in a moment.
Because it's young,
Yeah.
young human Nightwolf. I'm super into the
Oh.
elf on his head, and I just love
That's
the jeans
cool.
and jacket. That's so cool.
There's
So-
something weird about seeing like people in a fighting game like wearing jeans.
Right,
I
yeah.
just think it's cool, right?
So first, he has Spirit Tracks, which is actually replaces the shoulder, and it is a low roll into a sweep. And this is pretty
Huh.
awesome because again, it's an anti-zoning tool that
I think I'd like the shoulder charge
goes
better,
under
but that could be
projectiles.
cool.
So you can read a projectile, and then you can
Under
amplify it
projectiles is good though.
Pop
and
up.
get a pop-up.
Oh, okay.
And the
Well, that
amplification
could be
is
handy for
actually
sure.
another ability that I equipped. So I'm using 2 slots. Normally he will not get the pop-up on that, but I used it to get the pop-up.
Gotcha.
And then the second move I gave him is Hannah's Wrath, where he summons this Spirit Eagle. And this is a projectile that has very interesting properties. When it connects, it actually forces the opponent, they cannot do amplified moves. While they have that aura on them,
Oh,
Kano cannot do amplified ball, amplified not. Any of his amplifications are disabled, and it lasts
Okay.
a pretty decent length of time. And while we're not showing it, you're gonna have to wait. The bear is another buff move, and his name is Como, if people want to know.
Of course, people want to know.
Yeah,
they
so
do wanna know.
Hana, Como, and Kiba.
Cool.
And his second fatality is comatose.
I'm super into that. That's good stuff.
Which I believe we revealed for the show that Ed was at
Yes.
in Chile. Awesome. That right there is Nightwolf.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty cool character. I think if you really liked him in 9 and UMK3 and you just kind of want to play that honest mid-range game, I think you'll be pretty happy. He kind of
Definitely, like, of course, I always love when there's a command grab character that comes out and it fit what I wanted to do. Really enjoyed Nightwolf. And like you said, like a lot of our characters, like, his barrier to entry is not huge.
yeah, I think the barrier to entry is very, very low. He's not going to take a lot of mechanical skill. The skill is going to come in making the right reads.
Right.
Predicting when they're going to do a projectile, predicting when they're going to whiff a low poke because they're scared of your forward 2, or
Or
He's
knowing when
very-
you get in with him, and then once you're in.
exactly.
He's very good at being that person who has to make. If he makes those reads, you're in very good shape. Not, you know, a lot of characters are, but he has a lot of tools that are like built for that.
Right.
So awesome.
cool.
Right on. Okay, so I don't know, man. Like, I like getting close up and like the command grabs. They look good and they look useful, honestly, especially when you enhance into the pop-ups. Get a lot of good combos. And I've actually seen a couple of people online playing as of like yesterday, I think, where they were making some really good combos with Nightwolf. So he looks like he's fun and he looks like he's pretty useful. As soon as I get my hands on the game again and I can get back to playing, I'll do some demos with everything that I haven't been able to so far, which really has only been Shang Tsung and Nightwolf. But looks absolutely amazing. Can't wait. Like I said, he's one of my favorite characters in the series, so I'm pretty stoked for this one. Honestly, I think I'm going to be running with like the first variation immediately right off the bat because I do like the shoulder charge. I like staying away. So, yeah, dude. But I'm just going to have to get my hands on him and check it out and see what we got. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think he looks amazing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I know a lot of you have already played Nightwolf. So let me know what you think about his play style in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackowitz. Cage Nation, out.